This is Love Notes, daily devotions from Holy Trinity Lutheran Church. Grace and peace to you. Well, Augustine in his Confessions has come to the point where conversion has taken place, where the simple words of a child have sent him to scriptures, and all of a sudden the light turned on. So now he continues to tell us what the changes look like. He says, no longer were my goods outside me. It's kind of a strange thing to think about. No longer were my goods outside me, nor were they sought with my body's eyes under this paltry sun. He no longer thought of his goods as being the bowl on the table, the food in the dish, the people that he had in relationships, the house that he lived in. His vision had changed. His goods were not outside him anymore, nor were they sought with his body's eyes, because his eyes would be used for something else. Those who want their joys on the outside melt easily away and flow out into the visible things that depend upon time. In other words, Augustine has finally figured out that if you want the joys of this world that are all outside you and beyond your control, if that's where you're going to find your joy, they're going to melt away easily and flow. It's what Jesus says when he says, moth and rust consume the riches that you accumulate. But what God gives, that's not outside you, and it doesn't melt. It doesn't spoil. It doesn't rust. These things that are outside us, when they melt away, they flow out into visible things that depend upon time. In other words, they have expiration dates. There is a limited run. One of the things we have to do in our food pantry whenever food is donated is to check the boxes and cans to see what the expiration dates are. Sometimes people keep things in their cupboards that they then donate to us that have been there a very long time. But, a can of peas doesn't last forever, even though it seems like it. If you are that person, and Augustine is implying here that he was, such people only slobber with famished thinking over the mere images of such things. If only they got exhausted with starvation and said, who will show us the good things? In other words, if only they would get tired of filling the hole over and over again. And have you ever thought about how much time we spend trying to be happy doing things that don't make us happy, don't make us full of joy, don't give us hope, but we keep doing it. We slobber over them. And we say, who will show us good things? Well, Augustine knows who will show us good things. Then we would say, and they would hear, the light of your countenance is set on us like a seal, Master. If they could say that, if they could say, who will show us good things, then they would be open. Their hearts would be open to find that what they really need is not outside, but inside themselves. We ourselves aren't the light, Augustine says. We aren't the light that illuminates every human being. Rather, we are illuminated by you, God, so that we who were once darkness may be light in you. We are to be testimonies, living testimonies, and that's how the lost are found, and that's how people come to find that the outside world is not where joy is found, but the inside one, when they see it in us. The light that we have is not some spiritual possession, not some piece of self-help that we now go off and say, look, there, I accomplished that. But it's a constant relationship with God. It's the loving of God to the point where ever more deeply God enters into our life and makes us shine ever brighter. And by doing that, the world then can see in honest human witness that there's an alternative to the world that we have built. The world where everybody's a commodity, everything's for sale, and nothing satisfies. We know there's another way. Amen.